or send me a message here, and then like if my voice gets real slow and it's like 5 seconds, then I'll just do it here, bro. Because
Cool.
but last time we did it together, he didn't echo, so we're good. He wasn't slow, so we're good.
Exactly. All right, brother.
Go ahead.
You know what time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we
Yeah, I got the juice, yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, boy, you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof.
You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go.
Yeah, I got the juice, yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing.
All right, George, what is up, man? Welcome back, Locked In Podcast Friday. We're live on a Friday. The big change. It's been a little bit of a change the last couple of weeks, but due to our working schedules, we George have been a little bit busy ourselves. So that just to kind of change up our standard time, we might honestly be having two guests coming on tonight. If not two, at least one of them is definitely going to be in here coming up shortly. But welcome back, man. Welcome back, my brother. We're back on the mic a week later, and we're here with
back,
episode
man.
134.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here. 134 is in the mix now, and we are in the building, bro. Like you said, Friday. It's been a while since we've done a Friday, but
Oh, your mic cut out, brother. Can you hear me? Your mic cut out. I actually can't hear you right now. I'm not sure what happened. I think you sounded fine, but then the mic just cut out. Maybe it's the connection. Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I heard you fine for like the first half of that sentence, but then the second one it dipped out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a second. As well, George is doing that. Just want to say tonight's topic. Well, actually, today's topic. It's more still daytime because it's a 4:00 episode. But today's topic is going to be 5. We're just going to kind of go over 5 just because we want to keep this episode to an hour. We're already running a little late as it is. But 5 toxic habits that absolutely destroy masculine energy. And this is something I kind of got inspiration for this week because I've been really trying to stay dialed and focused in. Well, dialed in and focused. And these are some habits that, have sometimes slowed me down in my 20s, and I'm 30, and, just, recognizing these habits and finding ways to kind of kick these habits and stay away from them because I have turned a new page where I'm just trying to stay focused on anything that's what I want in life, and so the goals that I want, and these things definitely do not contribute to it. They do not help it. So, George, you want to try talking again? I'm not sure if I can hear. Oh yeah, I no, unmute yourself. I heard you for a second. Unmute yourself. Yeah, I can hear your sound now. Cool.
You can hear me? There we go.
Yeah, I hear you.
Much better. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
It looked like my shit was a little slow, like it was showing the preview, which is like the intro and the signal music, but it's good. I can hear you. My bad about that. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I
I
was
hear you
saying,
fine.
man. A week from now, we'll do the next one. But this is like on a Friday because of obvious reasons. Like I was saying before I got cut off, it's not bad to do it on Friday sometimes, but it just depends because Fridays can also be some special episodes, and sometimes you bring an exciting guest and he can do it on a Friday, and they're busy. We all know how people value their Fridays and what a Friday means to anybody or all over the world, especially in America. I even said on some of the promo that I did, thank God it's Friday, so it's a different feel. But I think this episode particularly goes well for a day like this. You know what I mean? Whether Thursday or Friday, because we're talking about masculinity, talking about an exciting episode, and 5 ways that of habits and ways that you could kill our mentality as far as like being confident, being what you got to be. Also, disclaimer, guys. I know you talked about it, Steve. Let's make it clear right now. This is not a topic about what they call toxic masculinity. This is not a topic for assholes or guys. We call them guys that like trying to do too much, like
this isn't red.
No,
yeah.
This is not red pill either.
No red pill content tonight. We've talked red pill before and stuff, but it's not red pill tonight.
It's not red pill.
And I do want to say this is obviously going to be a topic that's probably geared towards 85-90% men, because that's honestly what the focus is tonight. But I do encourage women, if any women are watching this, after the fact, definitely tune in, because when a man is on his purpose and is really toning into his own masculine energy, females benefit from that. So it's actually in a way, it really does. It's a beneficial to females as well. So if you want to learn something from this, feel free to tune in. If not, you can always tune out. You don't have to sit in here and listen to this, but
you can watch it another time too.
Yeah, the focus of this though is tonight masculine confidence. So that's the thing. Like, there's habits out there that really, really destroy it, right? I just want to go through 5, but George, you might have 5 of your own. And
yeah, I got honestly, probably the same thing, but I got a couple things.
Some of them probably overlap, if I'm being quite honest here. They probably will. But here's the thing. So I just want to dive into it. I don't want to waste too much of your time. I do want to make the disclaimer, tonight, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on if you're not already subscribed, because we do release content every single week, usually on Thursdays, sometimes Fridays or Wednesdays, and you do not want to miss it. If you're watching on Facebook, just hit the like button. Helps us out a lot. If you see something you like tonight, you want to chime into the conversation, feel free to comment in. We always appreciate for sure. So we can actually generate a conversation with you while we're talking about this educative topic. So I will actually start this one off tonight, guys. Let's just get right into it. There's at least 5 main ones to me. I would say I actually won't put them in any particular order. I'll kind of switch up, so it's not in any particular order. But I'm going to keep it real. And we've talked about this one before, right? This is one of the ones that are really going to, because it gives you an immediate dopamine effect of it. Watching and literally jerking it to porn all the time. So like porn, it's honestly, that's the thing. We wire our brains to watch 2 other people having sex as men. Like, that's the thing. And if you're completely all the time, just you're jerking it, you're getting off by that every single day. What happens is essentially what happens in this cycle is you need it every single day to relax and get that dopamine hit, and the cycle, and you're good for a little while, but then that cycle continues tomorrow. The issue with this is it doesn't actually just go into things like ED or having sexual dysfunction with women, but it actually can destroy your masculine confidence. It really does, because you get that endorphin hit. One of the ways I can actually put this is you're getting instant gratification from doing that. It's one of the few ways you can eat. There's different ways. You can be eating fast food, eating crap, different things, but you're getting an endorphin rush without actually delaying any gratification. So if it's a freezing cold day in the winter and you go for a run, you don't like doing it, right? But afterwards you feel fucking phenomenal. You're like, I went and I conquered something I didn't want to do. Yeah, you have a grueling leg day in the gym or a grueling weight training session. You didn't want to do it, but you went and you did it. Afterwards, that delayed gratification is actually going to have you feeling a lot better as a man, versus if you're getting instant gratification, it feels great in the moment, but it has the opposite effect. Long term, a lot of times you feel ashamed of yourself. You don't always feel great about yourself. And porn is just one of them. That's just one of them. people say like no fap and all that other stuff. I don't know about all that stuff. Like, to be honest, because people sometimes with no fap, they're not even having sex, and I definitely don't encourage. If you're a healthy man, you should, whether you're in a relationship or you're not, feel free to go out and have sex. But I'm just talking about like watching pornography. Studies and science have shown that the effects on the brain, if you're constantly watching it, like it's a constant thing. This isn't something that like you're doing once a week or once every couple weeks.
Your brain.
Yeah, it honestly, it affects your brain and affects your masculine confidence. It really does. There's science that is linked to this. So that's one of mine, George.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Chime in.
Yeah, so chime in some real fast.
Go ahead.
So I think I mentioned this. Remember, I missed an episode. I know some of my viewers remember because it's recent. Not last week, one before that. I was sick. So I was sick for like 2 days. Seems like somebody in the house had like a stomach bug, and I got it too, something like that, something along the lines. And I got sick, right? So I was throwing up one day, and I was feeling like shit, bro. I laid down almost all day. Imagine like laying down for 95% of the day, of the actual hours. I mean, not like sleeping time. I'm talking about like between, I don't know, like, because I woke up the day probably 9 in the morning or something like that, all the way to like 2 in the morning, the next day, the same day, you know what I mean? The next day, right? So I was up for a while, right? I only went out a little bit at night because I needed a walk. My body felt like it was going to explode, bro. I was so sick, man. My bones were aching. I realized that working out and just moving around, not staying still time, bro, it's just life, bro. It's just how it is. You just cannot say sit still, sit in the couch all day, laying down. Try to do this. Sit home one day, eat a little bit, do your activity, do some moving around. Don't work out at the gym. Don't go nowhere, do nothing physical. Sit down, lay on your couch till they sleep. They wake up, sleep again. You get these lazy flow of things, bro, and it's just not good, bro. And your body aches. So long story short, that day I felt so sick, bro. I did get better pretty quickly because it didn't really affect me. It just kind of got me a little, but I wasn't fully sick. I think somebody in the family gave it to me. Somebody was sick here because they were coughing and had a small flu. So 2 days I was sick. I didn't eat nothing for 2 days, maybe very little the next day. Bro, I lost 9 pounds, man. Extra pounds. I mean, I wouldn't say I lost them all. I probably lost like, for real, like 4. But I was like somewhere, I was a little heavier than usual. And then I'm back to like what I usually am at. Only on 2 days of dieting and not eating nothing. I mean, I didn't eat nothing because I was sick. I didn't want to eat because I didn't feel like the eating. I needed the hunger. And I didn't want to throw up, number 2. And number 3, it just wasn't in me. The headache wasn't letting me. When I finally ate a little and I got myself to get up and move around, I felt better, bro. I ate a little, which my hunger kind of came back because I had no hunger for like a day. I feel like crap, remember? And then you guys did a podcast. I was watching a little, but I just couldn't really do it. And I did watch you guys talk a little, and I think was it Rob? Was it in there? Was it Rob? Yeah. And Marius joined in.
Yeah.
It was a good show, by the way. It was
ago.
a great show, excellent show. Even without me, it was a really
Thanks,
good show
man.
and everything. But yeah, I said to say this, that sometimes, bro, you need that to move around a little bit, stay off of stuff like that, like, even eating, like, and actually give me new discipline. Since then, I've been eating a lot less sweets, bro, and I can see the result, bro, because for a while, I was just eating sweets like I didn't give a fuck. Even though it wasn't affecting me because I go to the gym a lot and burn it and work out, still, it's like, you gotta do extra as opposed to not eating it or eating it a lot less. You're cutting down, keyword, cutting it down a lot more. So now you might eat a sweet or donut here and there. It's not gonna affect just say you still
Yeah.
because your abs really good. Still, you got to be.
Absolutely.
Also, since I was
What happened there? So,
Hey, can everybody?
you
Yeah,
got to
what's
take
going on,
things into
Rich?
consideration and definitely don't consume as much candy, watch less porn, and go off. And good, but it's not that good. Trust me, too much sleep, it's like nah.
Facts. That's definitely true. Yeah, I don't know. George, can you hear me all right?
Looks like we have Rich in the mix.
Can you hear me all right, George? Yeah, I'm not sure why. Rich's thing, I think, locked up a little bit. Can you hear me? And now George's thing, I think, locked up.
Problem?
Hold on real quick. Let me try removing myself and adding my. All right, I think I see you guys better now. Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Trouble connecting, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the lagging was coming from my end or from your guy. I'm not sure, but you can hear me all right, right,
both
George?
for a second, but honestly, yeah,
Rich, can you hear us, bro?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
Not sure if you can hear us.
I was gonna say welcome back, man. I think you were lagging for a little there, but it might. I wasn't sure if it was my connection or anything like that. Just wanted to, welcome you back to the show. Appreciate you
Device
coming
not
on, man.
connected. Okay, he's having trouble, bro. It seems like that's good, but he's having some trouble. We gotta try to see if he comes back on.
Okay.
Yeah,
The top,
I'm not.
so I definitely try to make sure I come.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up a little bit there, bro. Like I think like your thing, it's like it's cutting in and out. I'm not sure if it's me. It's George. Do you hear me? You hear me all right? Do you hear Rich okay? Can you hear me okay, George? Oh boy, I'm not sure if George. Can you hear me all right, man? Guys, comment below who you can hear in this because I'm confused now. What's going on? George, can you hear me? George. Yo, Rich. Can you hear me?
Steve, can you hear
George,
me, Steve?
can you hear me? George. I'm confused on what's going on right now. Yo, George, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Todd said he
I
can
can
only
hear
hear Todd said he can only hear me. I've been trying to see if you could hear me, but like you weren't responding, so I have no clue. I think when Rich came on it, like I don't know what happened. The stream just started acting weird, like when we had a third person in here. I don't know if it's delayed or whatever. Bear with us, guys. Sorry about this. I'm not sure what's going on. There's like some type of connectivity thing going on. My Wi-Fi says it's fine. I don't see any type of issue with the bars or anything. But I'm gonna try to continue here. But I do want somebody else to be on the.
Yeah, mine is good too.
You can hear me though, right, George? Like
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're lagging a little bit, but I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna continue. Oh, now he went out, so I'm not sure what happened. But I'm just gonna keep it going. I'm not sure. When Rich came in, something happened with the stream where it started acting weird. We were completely fine, I think, until a third person came in and then something happened. But I'm just gonna keep it going. I'm sure that at least George is gonna be back on, maybe Rich, but hopefully they come back in quickly. I don't want an incident like last week where like George had to kind of drop off for a while. But just going back to the topic, I know George was talking about it. It was a really good point. But I do want to get to part number 2 of my points as we're kind of going along. Hopefully that both of them can pop back in. I'll keep my phone here so they can, if they need to, hop on. But yeah, no, number 2, and I know a lot of people do this. I'll say, well, actually, I'll go to this one. Societal conditioning is a big one. Like a lot of times, us as men, we're built not really to, like right from the beginning, we are not built. George is trying to come back on. We're not always set up for success. And in this life as a man, you really, and it's not excuses, it's just straight up fucking accountability. We're built to, so Rich said his Wi-Fi just got rebooted, guys. He'll be on soon, back on. And I'm going to bring George back in here. Sweet. Sorry, I don't want to disrupt. So George is coming back on. So I was going to say, George, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah, I was actually saying, I was just kind of diving. Rich said his Wi-Fi got rebooted, so he said he'll be back on. His computer kind of restarted.
I mean, what's your best? For some reason, it was just like it kept kicking me out too. At one point, you disappeared too. Like, what's going on? We're good though.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so we were talking about this before the episode. Remember, George? Societal conditioning. So society, a lot of times, it really doesn't set us up to be successful as men. We see, what is it on you see fairy tales, you see Disney, you see, all these things that happen in movies. But that's realistically not how life is. And it's not even an excuse. People say, oh, life's not fair to men. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it might be true, but at the end of the day, you also have to be accountable, and we have to work for what we want in this life. A lot of times, women from the ages of 18 to like 30, sign shows and will study show is, they can honestly cash in on a guy. Like they can meet a guy and be able to be taken care of. For men, what is provided to us isn't just generated based on our looks. A lot of times it's generated on what we can provide and that lifestyle that we can provide. And instead of really making excuses for it, you just really need to embrace it. That should give you the mentality to go out there and really just fucking grind. Whether it's getting in the best shape of your life, whether it's generating a wealthy lifestyle, you're able to generate a lot of income, make as much money as possible, whatever number you're looking to make, go out there and make your money and just live the best life that you can do. Always be upgrading your fashion, your wardrobe, being on point looks wise, keeping your looks on point, grooming. We always talk about this, but the thing about it is societal conditioning,
Staying sharp,
the shit we
grooming,
consume through media and stuff,
landscaping.
that is like legitimately one of the things that honestly can destroy masculine confidence. And that's just something that like we can't always control. But Rich, what's up, bro? Welcome back. All right, I see you perfect now, man. Cool.
Yeah, sorry, I had some technical difficulties. I had to reboot the Wi-Fi, but I'm back.
Nah, no problem, man. So you went out and then George went out. So you guys, I think, both got kicked out for a second. So now you guys are back. Welcome back to the pod, man. Appreciate you coming back.
No, thank you for having me, man. It was a great topic, so I had to
see.
jump in here.
Good to see Rich.
You're
Good to
in
see you.
Georgia. You're in Georgia right now, right? I like the
No,
little
you're
get
right,
up in the
Steve.
background, the little background there.
Yeah, I'm in my uncle's office right now. I had to come and visit family, unfortunately. I had my grandma passed away, so we're down here just to
But
pay our
you're right,
respects.
Steve. Definitely, society makes men. It's like
Yeah,
you're
I was
geared
gonna
to
say,
kind of fail a
you
little,
were
but
a
that's
little
not an
lag,
excuse,
dude.
though. We just got to do our best.
My condolences,
And
bro. I was just saying to Rich, like my condolences, man. I think George, you were lagged for like a second there. I think you kind of came in after and it lagged for a minute. You're good though. You were talking about my point before.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying one of the things that
Stop, Rich.
destroys.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? I was gonna say one of the things that we were just talking about, Rich, is it destroys like masculine confidence. It's societal conditioning. So it's like some of the stuff that we just consume. This is one of the things that kind of out of our control. Before that, I was saying, watching too much like pornography is one of the big ones too, because we get instant gratification, we get instant endorphin rush. And I was saying, a lot of times when we either consume crap food or we watch porn, we're getting instant gratification instead of delayed gratification. So you go get a good workout in, you didn't want to do it, but afterwards you feel great. That's delayed gratification. The more we chase delayed gratification in life, the science literally shows that men tend to be more happy. The more we consume instant gratification, we feel great in the moment, but then a lot of times we feel ashamed and like shit afterward. So honestly, that's one of them is porn. We've actually had a whole episode on this, but that's the first one I talked about. Do you have like anything that you can think of like that like can destroy masculine confidence, like related to this?
I mean, can you hear me fine? First and foremost, I want to make sure you can hear me correctly.
Yeah, I hear you great.
Just to kind of build off of what you said about that, like, I think the OnlyFans culture is definitely the thing that's kind of encouraging that type of behavior, where it's like giving men this instant gratification, but it's not real. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's you're investing your time, your money for someone who doesn't even know who you are, or if they do, it's like how many other guys are doing the same thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of pushing us into a culture of like not having to actually talk to women face to face. They're not having to, you know what I mean? It kind of encourages us to try and see if we can have our cake and eat it too. But that takes away all the actual effort and that part of the actual struggle and effort and I mean game, so to speak. That's a part of being a man. So if you don't know how to talk to women, you're kind of being conditioned to be like it's almost demasculating to be conditioned to not even talk to the opposite sex,
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's the thing. So it essentially contributes to the destruction of masculinity. Us, men back in the day, they had to hunt for what they wanted, right? We had to go out and like actually have a full blown conversation with a woman, in order to actually, attract a woman and get her on a date, and then actually go out and like be able to, get into a relationship, have sex with her. You actually had to go out. Like nowadays, like we have all the instant gratification at the palm of our hands, where You can try to talk to a female and like just a lot of times too. A lot of men don't really understand. A lot of these women have agencies that handle their OnlyFans for them. So usually it's probably a guy on the other end literally typing to you, and these guys literally think they're talking to these women. I know a couple girls who do OnlyFans, and like literally, like they have an agency who does it for them. So most men out there, I'm gonna put that on. If I think that's pretty obvious a lot of times, but a lot of guys probably don't understand that. So if you're watching this, just understand that you might be talking to a guy when you're sending dick pics and all the other stuff that's going on. You might not even be talking to her. But you're absolutely right, Rich. It destroys, I think, a little bit of the masculinity aspect of it. You know, you shouldn't have to have a full blown type of relationship over like an OnlyFans account. Go out and like today, you're actually probably considered. It's an even greater gesture approaching a woman today because it's probably so rare. It's not as popular as it used to be because a lot of dudes they're either online dating, which there's nothing wrong with online dating, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like OnlyFans and all the other stuff that's going on. Most dudes probably aren't even approaching girls today. But back in the day, our ancestors had to literally go as men and approach women to literally ask them out. Like nowadays, guys are just it's different.
Exactly. If you don't approach women, they don't. Like back in the day, they didn't know. They're not gonna know who you are. You're not gonna have no type of conversation or interaction.
The roles a little bit.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's just different. I was gonna say another habit, one of the toxic habits. I would say. Yeah. I would say one of the toxic habits today is another one, fear of confrontation. So most dudes, they'd rather just be passive. Not, I wouldn't even say most dudes. I don't want to say put most dudes into a category, but a lot of men, they'd rather be passive than really, like actually embrace confrontation. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and try to fight every dude and like try to start a problem with every single person you meet. But say someone like steps to you, if you really don't know how to defend yourself, we've actually talked about this, I think, on the After Hours episode. You can't be afraid of confrontation. You have to be able to try to stay calm, cool, and collected. And if somebody does step to you, you need to kind of know what to do. So I've actually just from being in fights when I was younger had to learn how to like fight and stuff. But I will say one thing: I've never actually taken Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or anything like that. And it's something that I've really thought about doing because I think that, like George, you do mixed martial arts. I think it's good to understand how to defend yourself as a man because a lot of men don't. And the issue is if you actually fear confrontation, that's like physical confrontation, but also mental confrontation too. A lot of people would rather not have the harsh conversations and the difficult talks too. The problem with that is if you don't face those types of things head on, you become very passive. It becomes a habit. You start to become passive. This could be in your career. This could be, just asking for what you need in a relationship. You know what I mean? You become very passive, and the issue becomes is if that becomes a habit, you're not really getting what you need out of life because you're too passive. So I think that fear of confrontation is another type of thing that really destroys masculine confidence. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like what you're saying is correct. Like, and by the way, I want to say thank you to the person, your buddy who commented down below with the condolences. I really appreciate that. But for I think phones is like part of the thing too, that kind of exactly what you just said about avoiding confrontation. Like phones do that technically because it's like everything that we want, we just get. You know what I mean? People just go on their phones and they immediately get it. There's no type of kind of, like I said, struggle or no type of, some people see struggles or different having to face problems head on. Some people see that as confrontation, but a lot of that stuff is a part of life. It's just that a lot of people are conditioned not to face the problems up front. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. They'd rather just continue to push it off, and then the problem is, like, a lot of times that just creates an even bigger problem. A lot of times I notice when I do things in life, if I tackle it right away, I feel much better about myself. Whereas if I let something go, and you ever notice, like, if you let something go long enough and you've been passive enough, and then you eventually tackle it, you feel terrible going up into it. But then once you actually get it done, you're like, why did I wait so long to just have this handled and just to say something about this? Like, that's the thing. Most of the time, we build stuff up in our head, and it's never as difficult as it actually is. Like, if the longer you think about making a decision on something, or the longer, like say there's something you don't like in a relationship, but you're completely passive about it. Don't even think about it too much. Just literally have active communication and just talk about it. Get it done. Just face it head on. Same thing with career. If you feel like you've been mistreated or you want a promotion or something at your job, just handle it. Have the conversation. Don't fear confrontation. Most of the time, when you fear confrontation in life, there's no real benefit that comes from it anyway. It's just that's just the truth of the matter. Do you have any other ones before I go into like my next one at all? Richard George.
George,
You froze up.
you got anything to say, bro? Or because I'm about to go in.
Yeah, George, you got any toxic habits that you think like destroy masculine confidence? You can harp on any of the ones I said too, if you have similar ones. Word. Yeah, I think he's just lagging a little bit, so we can wait.
Basically, the same ones, bro. Like, obviously,
yeah, I can't really
make a.
Listen,
I already told you, bro. I'm about to go in. So,
all right, cool.
Pretty much for me, like the culture in general kind of promotes like, Oh, here we go. Here's George.
Yeah, I'm back. All right,
guys. Yeah, you're definitely not lagging now. Like I can see you fine. What were you gonna say, man? My bad. Rich was actually about to hop into something, man. But I was gonna say, man, before he does, man, do you want to make a quick point? Do you have any what's a toxic habit you think that like destroys masculine confidence?
Okay, bro. So that's a good one, man. I mean, we kind of mentioned it earlier. I would say things that destroy masculine confidence, bro, honestly, are basically the lack of good friends around you, and masculine guys around you is definitely another good one too that we didn't really mention earlier. Again, going by social media and being just kind of attached to social media, I'm pretty sure that both of you guys can agree that goes for men and women, but definitely for men because we're talking about from a male perspective. And another one, like you said, Steve, again, I think before I kind of cut off, again, just masturbation, but just kind of not even just that, because that's one thing. You can be addicted to masturbating, but you can be addicted to porn. And that's, honestly, studies have shown, bro, that porn really ruins a man's, like, you can ruin your whole head, bro, your whole life and everything, bro. That's why if you're a married man or a man that's, like, in a more serious relationship, it's better not to really watch porn like that, you know what I mean? It's like, you can, but it's not really as recommended. And also, don't stay too still, bro. Like, again, sleeping too much is just living a very just relaxed and not sort of like going out for it type of thing to get it, and an active lifestyle that can mess you up a lot too. Because everything that we've seen, that we kind of is been proven, that we showed, that it says that like the more you are active, you move around, you work out a little, whether you train or not, but you play a sport, you will feel better, like in a health way, health wise and mentally too, physically, mentally, spiritually, because you go somewhere, you come back, the right back feels great now. You did your thing, you feel productive, you feel accomplished, you worked out, you met up with a friend maybe, you got your thing. When I go to the gym, bro, and I get my rounds in, I do some jiu-jitsu and some MMA, some wrestling, I feel great. I go do my cardio after that, my workout. So I might do 2 in one day. Oh, it feels great, bro. It adds so much more, bro. And I chill, driving back home, and I smoke that blunt, bro, I feel much better than just going for nothing, just for a ride. And then, you feel the same. You feel sluggish. You feel tired. You feel like you're full of like fucking nasty food you ate. Another thing, we're not eating the best food out there. I mean, now we probably are, but a lot of guys are still eating corner food. Corner stores, nah.
Sedentary lifestyle and consuming and bad food, both great points. I was gonna say, you got to treat our bodies like they're a machine, man. You got to feed it right. Treat it right. Both great points, man. I'm gonna let Rich go back to his topic. I know he was getting into it right before you popped back on.
I was just gonna say, like, man, I don't even know where to start. It's so much, but the general culture, I would say, of the West has trended towards even like the bastardization of the word masculinity. Like, is like pretty much like now they keep saying, well, especially people in our generation try to take a word that has no leaning left or right or up. It's just a word. It's a word, masculinity, right? How can masculinity really be toxic? You know what I mean? There are people who are toxic that happen to be masculine, but there's no such thing as a masculinity being toxic, All right, so I'm gonna say that again.
Right.
There are people who are masculine who are toxic, right? But that does not mean that the word itself can't be toxic. There's no, so to me, there's like no such thing as this thing that they're trying to push toxic masculinity. I feel like they're just trying to stigmatize masculinity to make it seem toxic so that men can be more
That's true.
feminine. Especially, especially, it's sad to say, but in African American culture here in the States, especially in the rap game, certain things are starting to become more acceptable that weren't acceptable back in the day. Like a lot of these new rappers, you know what I'm saying, like Lil Uzi, ASAP Rocky, a lot of these guys are wearing like nail polish and stuff like that and wearing very feminine clothing that back in the day, and the rapper that wouldn't have necessarily, I'm not saying not to accept that. Whoever wants to do that, do what you do. But what I'm saying is in a theme or a genre that's usually about masculinity, usually about being about your business, about taking, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not necessarily, it's kind of getting trendy to be pushed towards feminizing, a lot, especially a lot of black males. So, and again, it's nothing wrong with people doing what they want to do and expressing themselves the way that they want to, but you can't try to push a facade like you're masculine when you're doing a lot of feminine things. It's not necessarily. And for me, like I'll put it this way, like certain things that were geared back in the day that men would do, you know what I'm saying, that men would handle situations that we see right now, where guys are doing these things. Like it's just kind of one of those things to try and fit into the culture now, and to try and get more, how can you say, like, I'm trying to think of that word, but try to get more attention. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys like aren't even that way. It's just a facade. Like with Drake painting his nails, we've never seen Drake be a feminine person, right? Drake isn't necessarily a feminine rapper, but he's painting his nails because he knows it's going to get him more attention. And a lot of the people will sacrifice their masculinity for attention, or sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, it's nothing wrong with people being the way that they want to be, but if you're gonna fake it and you're not being true to yourself, and you're gonna try and act feminine when we all know you're really not like that, you just want to do it for attention, then you're sacrificing your masculinity for money, for attention. You know what I mean? Just because that's the cool thing to do. That's the thing to do right now in this society, is to kind of present masculinity and kind of put a bad name to it and to call it toxic, when in reality it's a word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Feel you, bro.
100%, man. I really agree with everything you said right there, and I love your point at the beginning. How, like, yes, there's men that are toxic who are masculine, but to put the word toxic on an entire concept, like, is absolutely baffling to me, because masculinity, that's essentially saying you're toxic just for being a man. That we need men in this world. Men need to be here, so a man should never have to apologize for being a man. That's the one issue that like, and today you're right, they're trying to push an agenda, I would say, like, whereas, like, yeah, ASAP Rocky wants to do that. That's cool. It's not that we're judging him on doing it, but they are trying to, like, push an agenda where it feels like you're trying to make masculinity, they want to make men more submissive to like their system, you know what I mean, more feminine.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they're pushing, but the issue
Less
is
masculine.
but the issue
Less
is,
masculine.
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like actual masculine men are needed in this world. You shouldn't have to apologize for being a man. That's the issue. Like, women don't have to apologize for being women. So there's no reason that men need to apologize for being men. You know, strong men are needed in this world. Like, I mean, like, strong, like, mentally, but also, physically. But they're needed in this world.
Strong how to do things.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's like,
in their ways.
I'm pretty sure a woman doesn't, like, also, like, in a relationship, doesn't want a man who's a feminine man who's, like, literally if you ask the majority of women what they want in a relationship, they don't want a man who's super passive, super feminine, super like, submissive to her.
I want somebody exciting, bro.
Some women do want to be the dominant one in relationships. That's usually not how it is. If you look at, like, if you ask the majority of women, they're not going to say that. They want a dominant man who, like, takes control and knows what he wants. we need men in life. We need great men in this world. But I do agree with you, Rich. That's 100% true. They try to throw the word toxic at the entire term of masculinity. But that's just not true because, masculinity in itself really can't be toxic. It's more so there's men who are masculine that are toxic. It's different. But
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I 100% agree.
Also, one thing, guys. One thing real fast. They put the word in front of masculinity, but like, why is that only sometime around like I guess 17, 2018, the term masculinity became a bad term? Please answer me that question. One of you guys. Somebody got the answer, right? Why is it that the term masculinity just means like you're toxic and you're just like they intertwined it or they mixed it up. And when I mean they, it's just I mean it's the power to be. The media, the way things are going. I don't mean they it's not women because it's men too, but it's just that the powers that be. It's almost like not the government or nothing, but just like society in general and the guidelines that we kind of go by, abide by. Like you said, if you're already geared to fail, life is already hard. You're already geared to be just not a thinker, but just like a worker, not a builder, just a guy like a follower, a colleague, instead of being, like a guy that can think for themselves and do more and actually wants more for themselves. Because they want it all, but they don't want us to be like that. They want us to be workers. But the big guys that have it, oh, they're good. I'm good. I got everything I need. They're not toxic. So they do it from the beginning. Now, to be a man like the way we were raised and our fathers probably raised us and everything, like to be like, you consider you're like a slob, like you're just like a brute. You're just a mean guy, a guy that chases women. Basically, what we consider like the term fuckboy, which we can talk about in a little bit because it probably come up in this conversation. It's just not fair. Like Rich said, that there's men that are just toxic. They just happen to everything and they're a-holes, and there's men that do other things. It's funny how a lot of women out there, not all women, let's be clear about this. This is a lot of them want a strong guy that can do this and that, but he's a guy with money. But half the time, those are the guys that are spoiled. Just spoiled guys with money, It's like you don't give a fuck. They got a car, they can treat women like they whatever. They can spend like 30 G's in one take like that. When us three probably spend like 3,000 the most, 300 to 3,000. These motherfuckers are spending $30,000 is nothing. So a lot of these guys don't respect women that way, and they're the ones that like play them, but yet they go after that, like after guys like that. So picking on the guys with money, like the Meek Mills of the world, the Future of the world, I listen to those guys. But truth of the matter is, those guys ain't shit. That's the truth of the matter. A lot of times they got the bag, but a lot of times they ain't shit really. Like, I know guys that know Meek personally. I'm not gonna go, Meek Mill, but I know guys that know Meek personally, and they told me the same. They told me stories about him that nobody else knows in the streets. The fans are like, yo, yeah, free Meek Mill. I'm chilling the other night in Strawberry Mansion in the corner, the worst corner, by the way, where Meek is actually from. And people tell me, yo, Meek should come around here and spit, just freestyle. When he had a white tee, but it was yellow. It wasn't a white tee, it was yellow tee, but it's white. You get it? A white tee with shoe sandals. He came a long way, right? Okay, so we'll give it up for Meek. He went a long way. People don't see him Winkinson from Philly. But people like him, bro, they're not the the most, they get, first of all, they're getting like letting society break him down and becoming like, more feminine, because Meek you never catch Meek saying some stuff he's saying now. When he came out, they would laugh at him in his block. They'll chase him away right now if he went up there with like nail polish. Nothing wrong with nail polish. Just depends what kind of nail polish we're talking about. If you get your nails just cut up and cleaned up and you have a little bit of pink stuff on the polish, that's fine. It's all good. Even back in the day, could probably get away with it. Actual polish, like shiny stuff looking like women, nah, they ain't gonna cut it. Sorry. That's just what it is. So that's just I'm just giving you guys the idea of the word of the streets, what the voice of the streets. I'm just giving it to you right now because I've been there, I've seen it. I know guys that, live there and say, yo, it's good to self-care is one thing, but not doing self-care or doing it too much to where you're looking like trying to act like you're a woman now, that's a different story. Women like guys that take care of themselves. But because society becomes so weird and demasculized and totally took, it's like they don't want male to have balls, it seems like. But I know when I say, they'll be like, oh, you're toxic masculinity. No, I'm being honest. I think a man should take care of his lady. I think a man should cook for his lady, and if he has to, he hold her in the back, like a piggyback ride type of thing. However, a man's gotta be the kind of like the backbone of the family. Like sometimes you have the woman, she's like kind of like the one that runs operations and all that, but the man's kind of like the backbone, the one that holds it down. That takes care of his girl, of his woman, of his wife. If she's sick, the man, he should do dishes. But now, if you sit here, tell me, well, men should do dishes, well, she should always go out and do whatever, and the man should take care of everything. They shouldn't even question her one time. Now you're not a man. Now you're becoming like they're switching the role, giving you the skirt. No pun intended. But you're now, it's like, come on now. Now you're like, you're not really masculine anymore. You took it away. But if you dare say anything different than what me and Rich were saying, now again, you're toxic masculinity. Why? Because there's a-holes out there. People like, like some of these rappers, they don't care, have no respect for nothing, don't do that. But ironically, when you mention, well, what about your daughter? They get mad and they walk out of interviews. Tucci,
Yeah, they don't want to
Lil
hear it.
Tucci, Lil Wayne, aka Lil Tucci, our boy Lil Wayne, the main guy, the
I,
Red Gloves. He walked
Tucci.
away at interview. He got so pissed off. He didn't want to address it. Oh, because he talked about your daughter. But what about the other girl you talk? You talk about all the girls about. I popped that pussy like it's nothing. I mean, they're somebody's daughter too, right? Oh, but nah, because you're saying about other and you're saying that it's all art. Like, come on, man. With it, there's art, but there's way to do art. You don't have to do art and then get butthurt like a bitch when they talk about your female, the females in your family, you know? And a lot of people think will say that Wayne represents Texas Mexican community. No, Wayne is just confused, like every other rapper out there. Most rappers they're confused. You know, I know rappers personally, bro, and a lot of them don't know they say one thing, but they do another thing. They never had nothing. When you're never had it all, and then you have it all again. When you're never had it all, you never had anything, and you have it all now, you don't know how to act with it. You can fuck with your mind. You know, you can make it become toxic. Sometimes you're just how you are. Because not all rappers are toxic, but
Also,
that's just
I was
how
gonna say,
society points at it.
I was gonna say also probably because
Like how much like
the drugs that they probably done and stuff too. That was gonna be my next point.
most people I know, like, and a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but drinking too much, smoking too much, and doing drugs and literally doing drugs are also destroying masculine confidence. If you smoke or drink too much, it absolutely will. Just if you're doing it every single day and you need that to, honestly, somebody I heard on a podcast said this, and I thought it was like a great point. They said, this guy's like successful now, multimillionaire, and he said a lot of people like to compare just from like the smoking aspect. Oh, well, Snoop Dogg did it. He's like, yeah, but Snoop Dogg didn't get famous off smoking weed. Snoop Dogg literally is a talented individual. Yes, he smoked weed, but he's a talented individual. Some people just think they're gonna get lucky. Oh, look, I smoke too, and I can be just like Snoop Dogg because he's successful. Stop pointing celebrities, people who are already successful, and then like literally trying to compare your life to them. No, it doesn't work like that. He got talent. He was talented at a young age. He was in movies and in music like at a young age. So like he was already had his talents. Not everybody has those types of talents. They're like, oh,
he was discovered by the right people, right place, right time. Like my grand uncle,
that's
great wise man that he is. He told me that, you know what luck is? He said luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and opportunity and preparation are there with success. You see a success and you just go for it. Snoop was discovered. He was already doing big things, making money already. He can rap, he can spit a little, and then everything kind of aligns, bro. You're right. You don't. Another thing, bro. I'm glad you brought this up, Steve, because it ties to the next one. And this is number 4, I believe. Comparing yourself that kills
it does social media
and good masculinity. It kills it right away.
Yes. So social media and comparing can absolutely destroy your confidence. I'm gonna go back to the drinking stuff in a minute, but now that you put on that topic, I'll absolutely tell you. Just have you ever been having like a great day, like you're firing on all cylinders, and then you scroll on social media, and then your mindset just changes. You're like, what the fuck? Like your mindset changes because you see someone else doing something, and it was something you weren't even thinking about. But you got to understand, on social media, people post their highlight reels. People don't post the bad shit that's going on inside their life on social media. I said that like 5 million times, but you ever have that when you're having a great day, but then you see something on social media and you're like, it almost feels like you're not doing enough in life. You're like, damn, what's this person got this? Like you start to see
it makes you feel like not accomplished enough. You're right, Steve.
Yeah, although before you even saw that, you were having a great day. You were accomplishing a lot. You were getting a lot done. But then your work ethic gets halted by seeing too much shit on social media. That's why like limiting like how much you're actually utilizing social media. Somebody I know that's like a YouTuber now, he said, I don't even consume content on social media anymore. I produce it. That's it. Like he goes on and he produces content on all his channels, and he's like on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and he's like on YouTube he'll consume content that's like educational, that helps him out, that helps him on his business. But he's like, I don't consume entertainment, and I don't just scroll for the hell of it. Like he's like, I don't do that shit anymore. He's like, and he deleted like I know when he wasn't doing YouTube, he deleted a bunch of apps off his phone. He literally was only running Facebook ads just to see like how much his Facebook traction was getting, but he only kept Facebook ads on his phone. And then he would keep all the other apps like Instagram and everything he would only use from like his or like YouTube only from his computer. So like that way during the day he never had the urge to like click the apps. But to be honest, social media in comparison, we've said this a million times, it can absolutely destroy your confidence as a man for sure, because you start comparing yourself to other people. But so that's a good point, George. I wanted to kind of kick it back to the drinking, smoking and stuff. I feel like all those things, like, yes, people do them for leisure, sometimes on a weekend or if they're on vacation and stuff, and that's okay. But if you're literally, going out, getting fucked up all the time, to be honest, it compromises your thinking. So if you want to be successful in this life and you're not already there and you're still way behind in life, how I see it is you're giving yourself a handicap. You're literally compromising your own thinking by smoking or drinking every single day or doing drugs or whatever. You're handicapping yourself. It's like eating shitty food, like eating crappy food all the time is handicapping yourself. Because after you eat a shit ton of unhealthy food, like fast food and stuff, you feel lethargic. You're handicapping yourself. So if you're trying to do great things in this life, if you're doing that all the time, it's for sure a handicap. And it does destroy masculine confidence, I feel. A lot of people might hate me for that. They'd be like, I smoke every day or like I drink every day, but that's just the truth. Most people I know that are successful, they'll tell you that too. I know somebody who like he smokes like once a week now, but he's like, when I was coming up and grinding and becoming a millionaire, I wasn't doing that at all. I wasn't doing it at all because it was compromising my thinking. He's like, I had to give up stuff for a while and sacrifice.
Well, it takes away your masculinity. You know what I'm saying? It takes away your masculinity when you let it control you.
Exactly.
A lot of people, they let that stuff get into their life and they let it control how they see the world. They let it control their motivation. They let it control, a lot of guys, man, like he in the meantime, he could be focusing on his craft or focusing on his work or focusing on, it could be that, that girl down the street or next door that, hey, maybe I should help her out. And instead it could be like, hey, listen, maybe she needs her grass cut or something like that. And it's just like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to go outside to help her out? Or are you going to go and work on your craft, work on what you need to for your future, for your career? Or are you going to just go inside and just keep smoking weed all day and not get anything done all day?
Right.
That's true.
Of course.
Or drinking all day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Smoking, drinking, eating, sitting still, gaining weight, all that. Yeah, it's just, that's toxic right there. That's toxic masculinity. Smoking all day, don't do shit all day.
Yeah, studies have literally shown, like, there's actually science and studies have actually backed this, that too much alcohol consumption or smoking too much like marijuana or too much weed, like, let's be real, like smoking too much weed, honestly, it contributes to the destruction of your testosterone. It can ruin your actual mental health too. Like, there's actually studies that back this. And yeah, of course, partying and like all the time is that, of course, and when you're in college, everything, that's fun. Like, oh, you can enjoy your life. But when you constantly party, it's proven that you hurt your body and your cortisol actually rockets as a defense mechanism. The issue with that is, like, when you're in your 20s, you can recover quicker. When you're in your teens, but as you start to get older, you get in your late 20s, you get into your 30s, your 40s, you can't recover as quickly as you did before. It's just, your body doesn't, it takes a toll on your body. And honestly, it takes a whole toll on your mental health. And then essentially what that translates into is your confidence too. And your ability to really be, your top tier self as a man. For sure.
No, I agree with you guys. I agree with you. And Rich, I'll give you the word in a second, bro. But real quick, guys, I'm going to stay on this subtopic of the main topic on the drinking and smoking.
Yeah, I can stay till 5. I can stay till 5:15. Just a heads up. I do have.
Yeah, I can stay a few minutes. It's 5:06. We got some
guys.
time. We're almost at an hour mark. We got a little time. But real quick, guys. So I did do some notes. I took notes early. I got some stuff written down too. And obviously, I had like the 5 traits. And me and Steve had some of the similar ones. But I do want to read, guys, some of the stuff I looked online. In the meantime, they're doing a podcast. I was kind of curious to see some more. And these is actually 8 signs. I'm gonna read them slowly. And some of them sound kind of funny. Let me know what you think, but I'm going to read them a little. Some will just kind of mention them, so just bear with me for a second, okay? And then I'll give Rich the word. And we have about 10 minutes to close in strong and kind of cover everything, okay? So we'll be okay. Bear with me a second.
That's good.
All right. I just want to read them. Okay, so this guy, again, from online, it's kind of like, some of it seems funny, but it's true, though, right? So you won't be the man you could be if you are blank, and it tells you what you're doing. So number 1, getting offended super easily. That's number 1 on the list, right? Getting offended super easily. I think, yeah, I would agree with that one. That kind of, kills a little confidence. I mean, you don't want to be a guy that gets very offended, but then again, you don't have thick skin and know the conversation, because the person gets offended too easily and shows it, you usually lose the debate. You lose the conversation. You got to be very, you're okay, act like you don't really care as much, but be like, well, I want to say like that, and it's how you express yourself. So a confident man holds frame. Again, nothing to do being a tough guy. Be like, what'd you say? I'm going to break your face. No. We ain't talking about that. Nothing to do being a toxic man or male, toxic masculinity, nothing to do being a little bit of a cowboy, like I said, approved. It's all about being smart, and if somebody offends you, offend them back a certain way, or say, let them know that, yo, your offense ain't nothing to me, man. I'm still good to go. So that's number 1, getting offended super easily. Number 2, being whiny, mentally weak person. He said, "Don't be a mental puss." That's kind of funny, but okay. So being whiny, mentally weak. Again, it comes of a little bit how you raised, some of the stuff that you went through, where you are in life. If you're just like a weak person, I mean, you gotta just strengthen your mind. Just try not to be a weak person. I mean, learn from those before you. Don't be a person that's got to be too materialistic. You cry if you lose the smallest thing. You get upset about everything. Just it's life. Again, master, become friends with the worst possibility, with the worst outcome. And if you can become friends with it and master it and have that, you'll be okay. You never get too disappointed because there's always a hope, and there is hope. Let's be clear. Don't be too whiny about things that can be controlled or whatever. Number 3, wear skinny jeans. That's number 3. I'm just reading this, guys. Wear skinny jeans. We just talked about it too. Kind of mentioned a little bit. I mean, I think you should wear jeans that are not as skinny, but I mean, by all means, dress how you feel comfortable. But I mean, there is some things that I mean, if you wear, like, what kind of man you grew up to be, like, if you dress a certain kind of way. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we can say this all we want and laugh what we want, and it's like be like, well, you can dress how you want to dress. Where's it written? But come on, it's everybody knows. I mean, we don't got to explain is that the way you dress, bro, presents yourself who you are. Why you think that when you go to an interview, you dress kind of nice and you feel good when you dress nice, or you dress kind of stylish, there's something nice on you, you know what I mean? You'll be presented. You go to the store,
Right.
if me and Rich go to the store, bring this guy Bobby X, just with his name and Bobby X, and he wears a skirt and nails and eyelashes, what does it tell him about us? How do we look going in there like that? I'm just being honest. Again, not hating on nobody, not throwing shade. Do what you want to do, live how you live. If you want to be, if you're straight, you're straight. If you're gay, you're gay. If you identify in a trans way, it's cool. It's fine. I mean, it's your own way of life these days. But I'm old school with it, and my opinion, and it's just how I feel about it. But this is much more than opinion. And again, this is not something I wrote. Something that's online. Don't wear skinny jeans. I think we can say that most successful guys that are good businessmen wear normal jeans. Let's just call them normal jeans. They don't gotta be skinny or that skinny like this skinny Back in the day, when I was coming up, when Rich and you Steve were like probably like middle school, high school, like because all of us are close to the same age range. It'll be kind of weird if you see a guy like that, bro. You probably think he's a girl because skinny jeans weren't really a thing in the 2000s. If you guys remember, guys were dressing like more baggy more than anything. Now let's not get it twisted, misconstrued. I'm not a fan of very baggy clothes neither. Although once upon a time I rocked them too. I'm guilty of it. We all done it. But it's just like you should dress like kind of like I was never a guy that would just take my pants all the way down. First of all, and I also never had a very baggy jeans. I would keep them just kind of like enough where the trend was cool. It looked good. It looked presentable, and I'll try to like rock some kind of cool. A nice label, a nice trend. I mean, if I could afford a Roberto Cavalli, then shit, I had one, but I didn't have it like that back then. I was probably wearing more like Rockaware, to be fair. Nowadays, again, you can be comfortable, but don't, just I wouldn't dress when he looks too feminine because I think that speaks a little about your confidence. And a lot of guys just there, whether confident or not, won't take you seriously. Nothing to do being a hater, nothing to do being toxic, a toxic man, nothing to do with hating on the LGBTQ and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, you can support them too. They're people just like us, so in the world of love and freedom and a free country, should be who you are. But again, there is ways to do it too. That's all we're trying to say. And I think that's what this article is kind of saying in a funny way. Number 4. Okay, this is hilarious. I'm gonna read it for you guys. Some stuff here is funny. Sporty man boobs. Get it under control with push-ups, pec, deck, and bench press. Also lose some body fat. Everybody looks like somebody loses fat. Body fat equates to elevating estrogen levels. Hold on, hang on. Also, a more masculine look is a more V-tapper or more drop from shoulders to waist. Okay, so he's just virtually trying to say I know in a funny way, we kind of laughing at it. He's just saying that basically don't be an MWT, a man with titties. Just trying to be yourself, go to the gym, don't be sloppy, don't be sloppy. If you feel like you're really sloppy with it, hit the gym a little. At least try like you're going to the gym, I mean, don't just, I mean, that's what he says, sporty man boobs. I mean, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't think no guy actually wants
MWT.
sport man boobs. It just kind of happens, but the stuff you write you feel alive. The internet's
Oh my
hilarious. You repeat
gosh.
it.
Yeah, you're
I think
hilarious,
we kind of
man.
view this too. We're just saying have a better look and just be more toned down. It kind of ties up with working out. Number 5, not having much muscle mass. This could happen from you not working out, not eating a proper diet, or lower testosterone levels. Period. Lower testosterone levels could result in reduced sex drive. Very true. Big L dysfunction also could be true. Low energy and stamina. That's definitely very true. That is a fact. If you don't work out like that, your stamina, your energy levels will be real slow. Um, low energy and stamina, reduced muscle mass, fatigue, depression, and much more. Check out this video for more information and details. Use some products that are better for your body, such as natural deodorant and talc-free body and balls powder. Okay, he laughed. He said balls powder. Okay, this guy is clearly, got some jokes as well, but at the same time, everything he had spot on in a kind of jokey way. A little. Yeah, you definitely should have. We just talked about it earlier, Steve. Manscaping, shaving. The other day, I had a meeting to go to, like kind of a work meeting, with some associates of mine. Although they probably didn't care if I looked the most presentable. Obviously, as a man, like I said, you just don't want to go out the house looking sloppy, bro. Wearing a shirt that's you probably in like 2011. That should be a shirt you go to sleep with, or a shirt you do shit around the basement, work around the basement. Not a shirt you're going to go to Wawa, or certainly a good meeting with some, heavy hitters that I was rolling with, and I look at you like, yo, damn, G, like, what are you wearing, G Money? You look like you kind of ran out the house, huh? These guys will say stuff like that. So you want to be a little presentable. If you're going for a meeting with a friend you've seen, I'm not saying you should wear a suit or a tuxedo, but, you go a little, shave a little. Your hair should be definitely, because let's be clear, gentlemen, you guys are guys that have good style. I consider you guys, guys that got good finesse and style. You guys don't dress bad in no kind of way. Would any of you guys, any of you brothers, go out there with sloppy hair, like just your hair looking a mess? No, right? You probably go to the mirror a little bit, fix your hair up, and then go outside, right? It's common male etiquette, but just being a male, not being masculine, being a little like being that bull, being the man, just being a regular man that wants to be taken seriously. You cannot go out there with a stain in your shirt and sloppy pants, guys. Come on. That's pretty simple. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with that.
I was gonna say, George, I know you're adding your points. I do have to bounce out in a minute because I do have to be out because I have to be somewhere at 5:30.
Yeah, that's actually the last one. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
No, they're all good points. Some of them were funny, but
spending too much time on social media. That we covered.
Yeah.
So especially the last one was number 8 on this list. This was spending too much time on social media. We covered that one.
Yeah.
It's just
I do want to say I appreciate everybody who's watching in tonight. I do appreciate both of your guys' time. I really do have to pop out because I have to be somewhere at 5:30. It takes me like 15 minutes to get there, so I do have to be out. But Rich, I do want to say I thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate your points tonight. George, I appreciate your points as well. Next week will be 135 episode. We got one of George's friends coming on as a guest, so it's going to be a good episode. But yeah, bro. I'll probably get in contact with you guys over the weekend, but I definitely want to wish you guys, a great night, a great evening, and a great weekend, fellas. I know Rich will be in Georgia, so like I said, man, my condolences, man, to you and your family.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man.
For sure, bro. Rest in peace to your grandma. We're definitely also saddened, but you got us. So if you don't talk about anything, bro, behind the scenes, reach out, and when you come back for ATL. Possibly would beat up. Me and Rich actually talked behind the scenes like not long ago, but obviously a lot happened in a short period of time. But definitely, enjoy the flight and the trip, bro. But be with your family, your close ones, and and do what you got to do, bro. We'll talk to you soon, bro. Again, our apologies to your family, and stay.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna say one quick last thing before I dip out myself. Thank you guys for having me, and also, what I'm saying, as far as the points that we made tonight, I just want everyone to feel encouraged, want everyone to feel motivated, not to let society push you into doing anything or being somebody you're not. Always be yourself, always be comfortable in who you are. If your goal is to be, a young man and just be in an environment around other men who are being productive, who are being masculine, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, no matter what society says to you. So that's all I have to say about that. And with that, I'm gonna peace out, y'all.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And I absolutely agree with you, man. For sure. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot for coming on, brother. I appreciate you, dude, as always, man. You're always welcome here on the podcast.
Thank you, Rich. Back. Thank you, bro.
All right, man.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Later.
All right, guys. All right, Steve. Later, bro.
Later, bro.
Have a great